Halloween is right around the corner, and what better way to get in the spooky spirit than by diving into the scariest movies of 2024? This list is for all the brave souls who dare to sit through spine-chilling horrors, filled with jump scares, eerie plots, and terrifying monsters. Based on trends, expert recommendations, and what moviegoers are raving about, here are the top 10 scariest movies of 2024 that you need to watch. 1. The Exorcist, 1973.
I need reassignment.
You're the best we've got.
I think I've lost my faith.
Is there someone inside you?
Sometimes.
Who is it?
I don't know.
Is it Captain Howdy? You ever heard of exorcism?
How do you go about getting an exorcism?
I beg your pardon? I'm Damien Karras. I'd like to help you. Where's Reagan? In here with us.
While opinions may vary on whether The Exorcist is the scariest movie of all time, its presence at the top of the list comes as no shock. Garnering a massive 19% of all votes, William Friedkin's masterpiece about a demon-possessed child remains a classic of the horror genre. Its chilling portrayal of the supernatural, coupled with intense performances and a narrative that explores good versus evil, makes it a timeless scarefest. Not only did it become the highest-grossing R-rated horror film of its time, but it was also the first of its genre to snag an Academy Award nomination for Best Picture. 2. Hereditary, 2018.
I recognize you from your mother.
What? Sometimes I swear I can feel them in the room.
Oh my God! What's that?
She isn't gone. She had private rituals, private friends.
Who's gonna take care of me?
You don't think I'm gonna take care of you?
But when you die.
Ari Aster's directorial debut, Hereditary, instantly solidified him as a horror filmmaker to watch. This psychological horror film, wrapped in a story about grief, centers on a family dealing with tragic loss and supernatural forces. Toni Collette's haunting portrayal of a mother unraveling under dark forces is widely considered one of the greatest performances in horror history. Though Hereditary delivers its fair share of shocks, it's the movie's unsettling tone and slow build of terror that struck a nerve with audiences, securing its spot at number 2. 3. The Conjuring, 2013.
Something awful happened here, Ed.
What is it?
Whatever Lorraine sees, feels, touches, it takes a toll on her. A little piece each time.
You have a lot of spirits in here, but there's one that I'm most worried about because it is so hateful. Look what she made me do.
James Wan carved out a place for himself as one of modern horror's top directors, and The Conjuring is one of his best. Based on the real-life investigations of paranormal experts Ed and Lorraine Warren, this movie blends supernatural horror with a touch of historical mystery. The film stars Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, who deliver grounded performances that heighten the terror. Unlike many horror films that rely on cheap scares, The Conjuring excels in creating a deeply unnerving atmosphere and chilling suspense. 4. The Shining, 1980.
Here's Johnny. I'm coming down.
Come and play with us.
When it comes to horror adaptations of Stephen King's work, The Shining reigns supreme. Directed by Stanley Kubrick, this film is a masterclass in psychological horror. Jack Nicholson's portrayal of Jack Torrance, a man driven to madness by the isolation of the Overlook Hotel, remains iconic. Unlike traditional haunted house movies, The Shining gets under your skin with its slow burn terror and unsettling imagery. Kubrick's meticulous attention to detail, combined with the film's eerie score and unforgettable scenes, like the infamous "Here's Johnny" moment, make it a timeless horror experience.
Here's Johnny!
5. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974.
Hello? Hello?
Tobe Hooper's low-budget slasher flick, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre became an instant classic upon release. Loosely based on the real-life crimes of Ed Gein, the film tells the story of a group of friends who fall prey to the murderous Leatherface and his twisted family. What makes this film so terrifying is its raw, gritty atmosphere. The minimal use of gore and the almost documentary-like quality gives it an unnerving sense of realism. Leatherface, with his chainsaw and terrifying mask, became an icon in the horror world. 6. The Ring, 2002.
There's this video that kills you 7 days after you watch it. The second it's over, the phone rings, and this voice says,
That's when she's coming for me.
Adapting foreign horror for Western audiences is often a tricky feat, but Gore Verbinski's The Ring successfully brought the eerie atmosphere of Japanese horror to American shores. Based on Hideo Nakata's Ringu, this remake tells the story of a cursed videotape that leads to certain death for anyone who watches it. The image of the ghostly girl, with long black hair covering her face, emerging from a television screen, has become one of the most iconic visuals in horror history. With strong performances, particularly from Naomi Watts, The Ring tapped into the primal fear of the unknown and introduced many viewers to the chilling world of J-horror. 7. Halloween, 1978.
Michael?
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil. I think he'll come back.
John Carpenter's Halloween introduced the world to one of the most terrifying villains in cinema, Michael Myers. The film may not have the blood and gore that we associate with modern slashers, but its tight, suspenseful pacing makes it an unforgettable classic. Jamie Lee Curtis, in her film debut as Laurie Strode, solidified her place as a scream queen. What makes Halloween so terrifying is its simplicity. A silent, masked killer stalking teenagers on a seemingly quiet Halloween night. 8. Sinister, 2012. Dubbed by some studies as the scariest movie ever, Sinister tells the unsettling story of a true crime writer who moves his family into a house with a dark past. Ethan Hawke's portrayal of a man unraveling as he uncovers increasingly disturbing truths is central to the film's slow-burn terror. Director Scott Derrickson, who later joined the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Doctor Strange, while some elements of the plot are familiar, the way Sinister plays with the haunted house genre leaves audiences with an overwhelming sense of dread. 9. Insidious, 2010.
I went into Dalton's room. There was something in there with him. I know someone who can help.
We took tri-field and EMF readings of the whole house, wiring, alarm clocks.
I don't think bad wiring is the problem here.
I want to leave. I want to leave this house.
What is it? Before The Conjuring, James Wan and Patrick Wilson teamed up for Insidious, a supernatural thriller about a family dealing with the mysterious coma of their son, who has unwittingly become a conduit for malevolent spirits. The film's mythology, crafted by writer Lee Wanell, was strong enough to spawn multiple sequels. While not as overtly violent as Wan's earlier work like Saw, Insidious focuses more on building an eerie, supernatural atmosphere. The film is perhaps best known for delivering one of the most memorable jump scares in recent horror history, securing its place as one of the scariest films of its era. 10. It, 2017. No horror list would be complete without mentioning Stephen King's It. Andy Muschietti's 2017 adaptation of the novel became a box office sensation, and it's easy to see why. The film takes viewers back to the childhood fears that never quite leave us, and Bill Skarsgård's portrayal of the shape-shifting Pennywise the Clown is nothing short of nightmare fuel. With its mix of nostalgia, genuine frights, and heartfelt storytelling, it struck a chord with audiences. It also dethroned The Exorcist as the highest-grossing horror film of all time. From disturbing imagery to jump scares, this movie is a perfect blend of fun and fright. So there you have it, Rotten Tomatoes' top 10 scariest movies of all time. If you loved this spine-chilling countdown of the scariest movies for Halloween, don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe for more terrifying content, and drop a comment below on which movie you think is the scariest. Share this video with your fellow horror fans.